All right, so we are on the soldering day. Finally got to this stage, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I did up to now, kind of do a quick summary, and then I'll be kind of letting you know how the process goes, what I'm using, just so for those of you who kind of want to get into soldering and to see how I do it, you can see the process, and also, I'll try to explain the steps in the soldering. And then once we do that, I'm just going to get going on it. I'll probably have like a fan going too, just because I don't want to smell the fumes and everything. But I also want to get to some questions or some comments as well. I think that'd be fun to kind of answer your, I don't even think there's questions actually, but if there is, I'll answer it. But kind of reply to some of the comments and stuff instead of doing it one by one. I could just do it on video here. It'd be kind of nice. So yeah, just start the soldering, get into it, let you guys know a little bit about how to do it, and for those who need it, and then afterwards we'll do some comments, reading and stuff. So that's kind of the plan for today. Hang out if you want. It's going to be about an hour, hour and a half. Like we said before, I'll make the videos about this long, and I think that's good, a good time. And then after that, I'll cut it, and if it doesn't, I'm not going to finish it in an hour and a half. So yesterday, actually, I started this process, tacking the solder together, getting the pieces together. I actually kind of recorded as well, and it took a lot of concentration to get this done. So I want to tell you guys about it. And so I don't think I'm going to do that video at all. It's unnecessary. And so this one might be a better thing because you can actually see the real soldering process. So what I did was, all right, so the last time we left off, I had done the grinding, the foiling, right? And the foiling was pretty good. Finished that up. It took me about like maybe 3 more hours after that last video to get finished up with the foil of all the pieces here. And then the next step was I printed all because I don't have a big printer, so I printed the regular size of the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with the template, where it was scaled to this correct size. My entire piece is 12 inches in diameter. And so I just printed 2 pages or a couple more pages of the template and then cut them up, line them up, tape them, so now they're exactly, visually you see it here, to the correct size. So that's how I got around not having a big printer. The second thing I did was I started tacking to hold these pieces together instead of nailing everything all around. Normally I would have done that with, say, maybe a couple of pieces or not that big of a project. I would just nail them in, and then they would hold together, and then you can start working, tacking the pieces together. And tack soldering is actually just doing a drop of solder in a spot that holds the 2 pieces together. So you don't want them to move. You put some flux on here, do a dab of solder, and then boom, you've got a spot right there where they hold. And so instead of nailing everything down to hold them together, or the alternative method was to tape them down together so they don't move, I just freehand and just went for it and laid it out as best as I can, every single piece. And once I was satisfied with that, where it looks like perfect, then I held each piece down, did the tack soldering, moved on to the next one, and I just kept doing that the whole time. And like I was saying, I had the video going. I was trying to talk at the same time while concentrating on this, and it was almost impossible, and I had to just shut up and not say anything. So it was just a quiet video basically. So at this stage, doing the tack soldering was very difficult in needing that concentration. And so I did that. And so here's where we're at. We got everything tacked together. So check it out. Look at that. See, now it's all in one piece, right? That's freaking cool. We got this all together now in, I think, the correct, you know, how everything should be. And it feels pretty good. There's like, as we go to solder this, there's not going to be, I don't think we're going to come up with that many problems or anything from now, just because of the extra steps that I took to get to this point, you know, making sure the pieces are ground to the correct size all around, like each individual piece. And you know, that grinding took, I want to say it was like 6 hours or something, right? I have to calculate it out again, but I think that's probably the right number. About 6 hours of grinding time for all of this, which is crazy. Maybe even more, to think about it. Yeah, I have to calculate it out. But yeah, so getting the shapes correct allowed me to then make the copper foil, and that foil then lands precisely on the template perfectly for each piece. And so now that I tacked everything together, I think I can just free flow and just go with this and just add solder as we go with this, you know. So hoping we'll have a nice session today. All right, so we're gonna start. I got my trusty Hakko soldering iron, FX601. This is the best one that I recommend and the one that I use. Once I started using this one, I have not used anything else, and I probably don't need to find any other iron to use. So this is it. This is the one. Flux. I have liquid flux, so poured some into the jar. And then we have 60-40 solder, solid core 60-40 solder. So whatever brand you use, make sure it's solid core 60-40. And typically it'll say for stained glass, but you don't want the electronic stuff. Make sure there's no flux inside the core. That will mess up your project. Also, I don't know if I think I mentioned that, or last time in the copper foiling stage, we used black back copper foil. And what that does is it gives the backing of the foil is black in color. So when you tape it on the glass, you see that black show through the glass, especially when it's a clear piece of glass, which I have here. So I've chosen to go with black copper foil to show that black back. And when we go to patina this thing after this soldering step, it's going to be black patina. And so all over you'll see black lines, and then that black back will show through and it'll just match quite well there. So that was the that was why I did the black copper foil. Okay, so that's it. That's where we are right now. Super happy about it. Super proud that we got to this stage, and it's like, man, it took a long time, you know, but this is it. I've got, maybe I don't need to turn on the fan at all. I've got my garage door slightly open, got some good airflow today, and if it starts bothering me, I'll turn it on. So sorry, I don't know if that's gonna ruin the sound and stuff, but what else was there? That's it. Oh yeah, sometimes wear a mask if you want. But basically you get the flux, paint it on, and you don't need a lot. Just do, I don't know, sometimes it feels, if you do too much, it's gonna bubble, fizzle a lot, and it'll be harder to clean, I guess. But what I do is I get the flux on there and then melt the solder onto the tip. And as the solder melts on the tip, it rolls off the tip. And it kind of just connects and sits, like it connects right there onto the copper foil. And you'll see it kind of just sit there. And at this stage, we're not worried about getting a good bead. I'm not trying to make it nice. I'm not even trying to smooth anything out at all, right? We're just dropping it So I get some fumes up in my face. So that I don't like. When you drop it down, it just kind of pulls together pretty easily. My setting here is at 410 Celsius. If you guys would like to know that, that's the number for me. I find it's a good, did I do this one? I forget. Yeah, you need flux for sure. So try to always make sure that you got flux going. And if you do, you have the flux, then it's just going to flow really nice. So again, just not really caring about how much, like not too much. You want to just put it on there, and it's gonna gob up. You can see how it's slowly transforming, getting the solder onto the copper foil. So just melting that solder tip, the tip of the solder, melting it right above the iron tip, and then it's kind of rolling off my iron right now. So that's how I'm doing it. It's how I've kind of been doing it. And again, this stage is like a rough work right now. So we're going pretty fast. I'm not touching the foil really at all either. Maybe that's a good thing to note. I think back in the days I didn't know like how to play with the solder, the iron and everything. So when you get used to it, you'll see how it flows and really like what's going on with the piece, with your work, iron and solder. So really I'm barely touching the copper foil. I don't even think this is, I've never even talked about this before. Kind of never paid attention too much about it. But yeah, I'm not really touching the copper foil. I'm letting the solder drop onto the foil. Because if you touch the foil and you sit there on it, that foil heats up and then it's going to melt or lift off from the glass. And so I'm trying not to do that. This thing is plenty hot. You don't need to add heat to it. And if it lifts off, then it becomes more difficult to get that solder on there. So, we're doing pretty good. Adding more flux to whatever line we're going to be doing. I keep track of what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, melting. Yeah, not touching you're just kind of barely touching the copper foil, but mostly moving rather quickly, going through it and adding more of that solder as it rolls off the tip. Okay, so it seems like this is pretty much all the things that you need to do to make this piece happen. You're doing something similar. Hear that sizzle? Flux is burning off. I'm like half holding my breath sometimes, trying not to smell that stuff. And if there's going to be gaps, some of these as I come upon these lines here, there's going to be some gaps that feel like it's a little wide. Some of them are tight, close together. I don't worry too much about, like getting that solder like in between the lines. You really can't help it if it does or not. If there's a bigger gap, it's going to flow through, and you'll catch it on the other side, which we will have to do anyways. We're going to have to flip this over, add more solder, add all the solder onto the other side exactly the same as what we're doing now. So, you know, if it flows through, that's fine. You just don't want it to keep flowing through, and then that means you're staying there for too long, you know. But right now, you can see I'm just trying to really move pretty fast, not heating anything up. I don't want to heat anything up. And we also don't need to come back and fix something. I don't like to stay on one spot. That's what I try to avoid. Try to keep moving, try to continue going. And you don't want to heat up a spot for too long. So you're just moving along. If it looks bad, don't worry about it. Come back when it cools down and you can fix it, add more solder to it later. If it looks too much, like if you've added too much solder and it looks like a very thick bead, later on when it cools down and you come back to it, you know, we can lift the project and then you can heat it up and it'll just and tilt it so it rolls off that bead. So that eliminates some of the thick solder that you might have that you don't want. So that's how I would do it. Or if you have to add it, which is most of what's going to happen, then all you have to do is just heat it up and you know, add more solder onto it, which is, you'll see. I'll show you that step, or you'll see it when we go to smooth everything out. This that next step is going to be maybe the more time-consuming part of it, because right now we're like quickly going through this. Feels like I'm kind of rushing through this, but I also don't want it to sit too long, you know. Also, I forget where the heck I put the flux. That's not, you know, you don't want to have it just sitting and then not doing anything with it. And one thing with flux that I've learned, you don't let it, like if you finish this project, you want to do the flux, you want to do the solder, and once you do that, you want to make sure it's not sitting overnight. Like, you need to be able to clean it tonight or today. As soon as you're done with this, we need to clean it. So we want to pick a time when you can actually work on the project, do the solder, but have time to clean it. If it sits overnight, you could have a lot of problems where the flux it now sits inside the copper foil, and you'll have like that white mold could happen. When you clean it, it doesn't come off. It's just kind of trapped in there. So you want to quickly like clean things off, make sure that it's not on your foil anymore. All right. Yeah, I already forgot which thing I'm doing here, but do that again. I keep saying I need to trim down my brush because it is the full size brush, and so that picks up a lot of the liquid, right, of the flux. So you can cut the brush so it's smaller, and then you'll just have smaller of a brush where it won't pick up as much liquid. So you don't need a lot. You don't need to bring too much liquid onto the foil here. Okay. And this solder will heat up, so this roll. So just not the roll itself, but that's leading stick right here. Just make sure you're not getting close to it. Give you some length to it. I feel like I got something. I guess sometimes I do like to wear the mask. Feel like then I don't smell anything. I have a pretty good mask. And if you're like me, you're like sensitive to some of the smell, you might want to wear a mask. It's back there. I'll show you guys what it is. Here, we can take a little break. So this is a 3M. I don't know what it is. I mean, like the model. I'll make sure that there's like a link or whatever, you know, so you guys know exactly what this was that I bought. This filter right here is good, so it sucks the air through, and you know, for paint, other fumes and chemicals and stuff. So that's what I use. Super heavy duty, and just you don't smell a thing. So yeah, you can wear that. Wear something like that while you're soldering, and don't do it indoors. Don't do it with people around. It's just nasty. I would go outside, do it in the garage, do it by a window, get a fan going, or get the air to get the fan blowing away from you, so it sucks the air out the window. You know, this part is not toxic. I mean, it can't be good for you breathing this shit, right? This is not something you want to breathe. You'll have like old school people that solder forever or like work on stained glass, and they're like, yeah, nothing happens, you know, but I don't care. It smells nasty, so I don't want to smell it, you know. If you don't want to smell it, then you can wear a mask and you can get a fan and blow it out. So those are like the two easy solutions to help with this. Okay. All right, so we covered some of the safety stuff. The biggest safety thing is definitely the lead that is inside our solder here. We are using 60-40, which is 60% tin, 40% lead. Or do I have that? I know I say it all the time, and I'm forgetting, like 60% tin, 40% lead. I think that's what it is. But you know, there's lead in it, so you don't want to be getting this, ingesting this, which means touching it, and then there's traces of it, and now you have it on your hands. Then you go to eat a candy bar, your sandwich or something, and now you're eating the lead, and it could be small traces of it, but the more you do that and aren't aware of it or not thinking of it, then you're going to have that in you. And we all know lead is terrible for our body, so I try to eliminate it right now by using, so for me, I like to use gloves. I'm using the not latex, nylon gloves or whatever, nitrile gloves, and so that helps protect that. But most importantly for me, I don't like getting the flux on my hands and fingers. It feels extremely hard to clean off. Just like it's real tacky and sticks to your hands. You know, I never have found a solution to clean it off easily. So if I get flux on my hands, I'm washing it so much with soap. So either I have the wrong soap, which is probably true, and it's not cleaning it off, and it just feels like it's stuck on there forever. So I don't care to do that, to touch it, so I have the gloves. I also like just being able to, you know, clean off. Like I just take the gloves off and I can touch my phone and I don't have to go and wash my hands and worry about that. So, you know, just easier. It's way easier. So that's kind of why I use the gloves for soldering. And as you can see, like what I'm doing, this method, how I'm soldering, man, we're going through this roll. Hopefully we do have enough. I have other rolls. Maybe I got this one too, but hopefully I have the same brand just to keep it consistent. But what the heck were we talking about? The gloves, right? Something about the gloves. Man, I'm blanking out. So I wear the gloves to protect, solder, the flux from getting on my hands. But, oh yeah, what I was gonna say was most people are concerned about like it heating up or like accidentally touching the solder, it becoming a problem. Like you've got this hot, extremely hot iron, the solder itself melts, and it is hot molten metal, right? So you don't want that to get onto you. But as you can see, what I'm doing right now and how this solder is going, my hands are very far away from it on the handle, and I'm holding the roll where it's, you know, it's just, I got this, the rod sticking out right there, and then moving along like this with the solder, the soldering iron, and there's no chance of this melting onto my hands at all. I don't see that happening. You know, it doesn't, I don't think it can. And it has never, like ever, do anything like that. So it hasn't splashed. You know, it will if you're putting a lot of flux onto the project, but even then you'll hear that, you're hearing it right now where it's sizzling. You know, it's popping a little bit and stuff here and there, but it's not coming back right back at me. It's not, doesn't feel dangerous, is what I'm saying. And so the chance of it dropping at all, like the solder to drop onto my hands, I don't know how that's possible because the solder's going down to the piece, but my hands are above it. So how does the drop happen? I mean, unless I flick the iron or I pick it up super high, have my hand under here, and then it drops down. But like, why would I do that when I'm working on this? So I think sometimes people worry a lot, and the ones who make comments about, hey, it can melt your hand and all this stuff, like, I think it could happen if you're handling it in a different way. But if you're working like this, where your hands are away from it, I don't see that as a problem. So you guys could let me know if that has happened to you, or if that is a concern. You know, I would like to know. I think it would help other people who aren't trained or are used to the soldering iron. But you know, if you're doing it like me right now and you do this exact step and you just follow naturally what's going on, how it's melting from the tip, right on that top of that tip, melting down, and then we're moving along, just barely touching this copper foil. And you know, some splashing is happening, but my face is far away too. I'm not like really putting my face into the glass. I'm keeping it above, you know, just sitting up right here. So yeah, I feel completely safe doing this part. Yeah, like completely safe, minus the smell, you know, so smell is the only thing that I would eliminate and feel good. I don't have to smell it. But you know, if I have a mask on, it's impossible for me to talk and let you guys know what's going on. So I'm sacrificing myself right now, so you can learn some stuff. See the fumes coming off, and it's maybe I could stand like this and just solder like this. You know what I need is the extra long soldering iron. What if they make that, and I have like a long extension soldering iron. It's like 12 inches long, and then I could be this, you know, we're gonna do it'll be like this, because I can extend this, you know, we can keep going. This could be like down here. I can stand upright, perfect position, right? Not hunch my back, and we're just like this, soldering. Man, that would be cool. I gotta find something. I gotta do something like that. It's like a chopper, doing like extended forks and stuff, you know? It's kind of cool. That's now I can't work. All right, hold on. So you know what I mean? Like, if you get farther away from it, stand upright. I'm standing pretty far from it right now, and I don't need to get in there. I don't really need to see what's, like, how much is on there. I mean, I roughly can see it. It's not, I'm not worried about it. We're moving along. We're doing pretty good. And, you know, this doesn't feel bad at all. Like this. You're just adding the solder in. Let it drop down. Right, we added the flux. Without flux, it will not flow. It won't grab onto the copper foil. Right, so like this. Actually, this is okay. Standing farther away, like I'm actually exaggerating a little bit, but I'm standing farther away, so the fumes aren't coming as much, not getting to me as much. Feels. Oh, I did that already. But yeah, you know, this is it. This is what we're doing. That's kind of how I've been doing it, and I'll tell you, you'll see the steps where, when we go to smooth everything to make it look nice for the final finished product. You know, right now is like just getting it on, because there needs to be, I haven't gotten to the point where like I do a smooth bead on the first try and then that's final. You know, I feel like that comes afterwards for me. I like to do it this way. If you sit on it and you try to make it perfect right away, the first try, there's always, at least for me, there's always a touch up somewhere, and I end up having to go over it anyway, so I figured I would just do a rough first pass, and once we do that, and I know we've got enough solder on, like, you'll get used to how much you can see, like, okay, this line needs more solder here, and then you can add more to it, or when you're doing the first pass, you can actually get, maybe estimate like better, you know, you can get closer and closer and go, okay, this is what I need, and let it be done, and boom, move on to the next line. So once you get really good at it, I'm sure you don't need to do anything but just run. Like, you don't have to add or subtract solder, you just run your iron through the whole thing, trying to do it one continuous path, and you'll probably get, you'll just have it perfect beads all around, you know. So right now I did all the insides. This is going way quicker than I anticipated, so I'm very happy about that. At this point right here, the sides, the top sides, right? Like the ring around. What I do is I barely add solder. You can see that I'm not sitting there dripping solder onto the tip and also holding it and going through it. I'm using the remaining solder that's on the tip and just gliding, letting that kind of pick up and add to that copper foil right on the edge right here. Okay, this is the top surface we're talking about. So I have this, and then once in a while I add some more just to kind of add and give it like the extra solder that it needs, but quickly moving through it, but not really, see, not adding too much solder onto that at all. Man, okay, so first face done. Now I can feel like confidently I can pick it up. I think, should we do it? Still, you know, just it's not entirely strong, but we can do it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. What do you think? Does that look pretty good? Oh man, this is freaking awesome. Look at that. Okay, right. Good. All right, so that's the first side, and just a real quick rough pass. Okay, and we'll turn it over, and then I've got this side right here. Should be the exact same thing. You guys know what it is now. I'm gonna. You know what? I need to. I wanna get a. No, okay. Let's just keep going. I was thinking of. I always have to be thinking about what to add. What to record for social stuff. Unfortunately, I have to think about that. So, like, okay, at this step, is it a thing that I should record for social media, Instagram, you know, for instance? So, yeah, it's always unfortunate. It's just always thinking about that crap, and I don't want to really sometimes. You know how it sucks you in, and you end up just doing what you don't want to do. So I don't know. That's social media for you. I feel like YouTube, at least, is a little bit different. Oh man, it's just at the beginning. It's just going real. Trying not to smell this crap. Yeah, I'm smelling the fumes a lot. Let me see if I could get this thing going. I don't want to see here with it. So I have this cool thing. This is a fume extractor. I don't know. And we are plugged in. All right. So, you know, something like that. Sits. It just really is a fan. It's pulling the fumes away from me. That's all it is. So we're really, oh wait, we're not on that one. Okay. And it should be closer. But I'm also, I don't know, where could it be? Okay. Feels like it's working. No. It's got to be over here. See, that's done. That's gonna blow on me, so I don't want that. I think also it says, oh, it can do this. Oh yeah. And I don't know if that's, does that work better? Because you can also lay it down that way. Yeah, I've used it sometimes. Sometimes when I don't want to wear a mask, it's pretty good. But I still think the mask is definitely the best. The only problem is you wear it too long, and then it's just, you know, a mask feels like it's just, you can't just have it on for too long, you know. So yeah, you got to find your balance, find your protection, whatever works for you. But this is fine. It's a nice cool day. It's been like rainy a little bit. We've got, you know, I can open the garage even more, so it's not a big deal. Plus, I think I'm gonna be done with this way sooner than I thought. Like, this might have been the easiest step of the entire project so far. Normally I feel like soldering takes quite a bit, like hours, again, just trying to get everything right. So maybe we'll see that. But right now I am moving faster than I've ever done. Oh man, there's a it's quite a big gap where the flowers, these petals meet. Okay, so what's gonna happen is we're gonna have to fill in the, it's probably gonna, maybe it'll work out, I don't know, but on the other side we'll see. It's quite a big gap, and if it is, you're just gonna have to drop solder in there, and then it fills that hole, and on the other side kind of seal it up, you know. If it's too big, you might even have to add, I don't know, some kind of sometimes you could do like, you can add reinforcements, you know, so you can add materials in between the space so it grabs and holds, and then people use it to make things stronger. So you can add some of those. It's like I don't know I forget what the name is now. So I've never used it before. But did I get flux on there? Yeah. Okay. Always got to make sure you got flux. Biggest thing in soldering. You don't have flux, you can't work. It just doesn't work like that. So you always gotta have it. Maybe this thing's working. Okay. Yeah, next time I hope I remember to cut this brush. I mean, I could maybe try it now even. It's like one of those things that don't bother you enough so you don't fix it. And then you're like, yeah, I barely use it, you know, it's fine, I'll do it next time. Or, yeah, it's okay. And then next time comes around, it's like, damn, I really need to fix that thing. And then you still never fix it. And like your entire life, you just use it as the thing that you wished was fixed. You guys know what I mean? Man, it's crazy. All right, we're going. We're doing good. See, I don't feel bad at all about the foil. There's nothing going on. Anything strange to burn it, lift it off the glass. There's none of that. We're moving quite fast. And oh, by the way, so we had that half time gone already, right? So the half marker already passed. We're coming up to our 1 hour. I guess that's kind of nice. I get some type of indicator like, hey, your video stopped half an hour every half hour, so there's your timeline, time frame. Okay, let's do this entire circle. We're gonna go fast through here. So I hope this kind of, you know, demystifies like the soldering process, and you see, oh, quickly, that section just bubbled. And so if it does, you just go through it. Just go through it again. The bubble will burn off, you know, that flux will burn off. And then you'll probably have to fill in that hole because it pops and the solder kind of melts through your piece or something like that. So just add more solder and it'll cover up that hole to clean off the soldering, make it nice and smooth. We'll probably see a lot more of that when I go to smooth everything out. So yeah, I was just saying, if you were worried or scared about doing soldering and never tried it, at first it's gonna suck. It's gonna feel like nothing's working, and you know, like you're holding this hot iron and it's not doing what you want it to do. And that's probably just fine. You're gonna feel like that just because you haven't handled it before. You know, I remember using one when I began too, and it was like, or before I used a soldering iron before, and it was like, man, this thing's weird, you know. And you just get used to it. You get used to how the heat, solder, everything responds together. And especially if you keep the same iron, you're using your own, you know, the same one, so you just understand it. And this setting is here for you also, so you can mess with it if it feels like it's too hot, not hot enough, or whatever, how your speed is when you're moving things. But for me, I would suggest using this 410 setting, so you have I don't know, just keep it on that, and then you could work on the rest of the other stuff where you're trying to figure everything else out, you know. So that's one less thing to think about. All right, so it's looking pretty good. The lines look good. They don't look too thick, which means the other thing is that when the lines, you know, like if you had this copper foil and it was wrapped and it wasn't straight, now the solder flows onto the copper foil and the line is not straight, or this tape is not evenly spaced out on your piece, now your solder lines will flow over that, and so it will show too. So you know how everything just really works together, comes together in a way that you have to pay attention to all the little things. It's just part of it. This is what this craft is about. The more I do this, the more I learn that you pay attention to the details, the little things from the beginning, from the cutting, right? If you cut and it's cut wrong or it's cut way off, your next step is grinding. The better you cut, the less you have to grind. The more you have to grind, you're sitting there, and you just get tired of the grinding part. So it all starts from the beginning. Not to scare anybody off, but you know, every step of the way, it makes you pay attention to it, which I like. And you don't want to rush it. You know, right now I feel I'm lucky. I don't have, like, I'm not making projects where I want to have to like crank them out. Got a timeline and need to rush things because I know I will mess up personally and something will go wrong and I wouldn't be happy with it later on, you know. So I like to take my time on this. I feel better about it. And especially, you know, yeah, the videos that I'm doing, even though I feel rushed a little bit, where like, man, I need to get this video up, or you know, there's nothing going on because I couldn't get to the project, and I just simply, I have to say I can't do it. I can't rush it. It has to be done when it's done, and that's how it's gonna look good. So, you know, I'm trying to make it so that I work here every day, and then that means I'm able to move along the project, and you also get a video. You know, you can also learn some stuff too. So that is the idea. Okay, coming up. I'm doing the same method right now where I do the, oh, this thing's bubbling good right there. But you know, I'm doing the same method right now, trying to get all the insides filled. And then I'll do that top edge around. Let's see, I'm just gonna, it's the same stuff over and over, you know? We're gonna do the same thing over and over. You haven't realized that. That's what stained glass is all about. Repetitive work, doing the same steps until it's done, moving on to the next step, more repetitive work of that same step, move on to the next step. All of a sudden you're holding this piece and like, what did I do? How'd that happen? You know, this is art. This is what it is. People draw and they're drawing the same lines over and over in patterns and things, and it becomes a cool thing. Especially designs like this. But man, it's gonna look good. I know it's gonna look good. And I hope that black patina will come through. We're gonna do our best to clean it off make sure that everything is prepped and ready for the patina, because that step is also important. You know, again, going back to the prep work and just the details of what needs to be prepped and done before that next step. Oh yeah, you guys will see how the points come together. That's pretty cool, where all those petals meet. There's going to be that center with the solder. We'll smooth it out, get all the solder on there, make it look nice. That part right there is pretty special because it kind of seals the deal on the final look, you know. So I'm going to stop there. Add too much flux and I have no idea where I'm going with the lines, or forget what I've put on or not. And you can see it's using up a ton of solder, using up a lot of this solder. This is why it's also expensive. A roll of this 1 pound solder is going now for $23, $24, I think. It shot up like crazy from COVID. Like you guys remember when everything started going up and they blamed it on the transport and all that stuff, right? I mean, obviously that was really a part of it, and but you know, things really went to shit and it went up. So when I first started stained glass, this was 5 years ago, I think, and a roll of solder was about 15 bucks, maybe about there, I think. And then it soon crept up to like 18-ish, 20. It just kept going, you know. I don't know, like nobody was doing a lot of stained glass either, or not a lot of people, and also the demand, I think, wasn't there. So that's just how it is. Prices keep going up. Because I remember you could buy everything. Oh, we're out. Wow, crazy, huh? That wasn't a full roll, but it taking up a lot of solder. Yeah, to start stained glass and do, or like buy all the equipment, tools, materials and stuff. At the time it was under like 70 bucks. I think I had a video that was like, you know, the minimum stuff you have to purchase probably cost you about that, 65 or something. And now at least easily over 100, and I don't know, 100 something now probably. I'm gonna do a video. I want to do a video on it again, kind of update 2024 real price right now, where we are. Things just keep going up. I don't know, what the hell. Yeah, that is life. This is what we have to deal with, and you'll see all the prices of the art, stained glass. People are gonna have to sell it for more, obviously, because their cost is going up. Back. Looks like I'm Maybe I need this thing. It's gonna get hot. We're going. Getting through this. Almost done. So when's a good time to get into stained glass? 30 years ago? I don't know. I did, you know that cabinet back there? Right? Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was supposed to talk about that cabinet. Okay. Alright, this will be, excuse me. So, yeah, that's the other story that I can talk about. Maybe that's good, because while I'm doing this, I can tell you guys how I got that cabinet and what the heck is it. I want to paint everything now. Screw it. I'm just gonna. Now that I did it all. Okay, now we'll just go for it. Alright, so in that when I got that cabinet, I'm gonna quickly tell you the price because I'm gonna totally forget about it. It came with a roll of solder. I think there was like one roll in there, two or something, but on that solder roll it had a tag, price tag, and it was $5.95 for that roll. Now, dang, for a roll of solder, 1 pound, same thing, $5.95, and that was back in the 90s, 1990 something. I don't remember the date, years exactly, but that came from that era, right? So could have bought solder back then, kept it in your garage, and you know, now it's like 4 times the price. I don't know. Is that an investment? I'm not sure. But you know, probably could have done a lot of things back then. Bought whatever goods that would have lasted through decades, and then you know, you can sell them now. Cars, for example. But okay, so the cabinet, how I came upon that thing. So when I was starting stained glass, I was looking for tools and materials and stuff, right? Glass, most importantly. I didn't want to, you know, it gets expensive. You buy glass and it takes up a lot of, it's going to cost a lot. So I was not consistently, but I was just looking where to get glass, and I think I landed on Craigslist. And you know, I didn't find anything, so probably never looked, or at the time it's just like, maybe I'll like browse here and there or something like that. And never found anything, never saw anything for stained glass. It was like, nobody's selling anything stained glass. Okay, wait, I take that back. That's a lie. That's a lie. This is gonna get really hot. You'll see me drop it. So, I did buy something from Craigslist. My first purchase after making my projects and stuff was glass grinder. Right, I got this glass grinder, inland glass grinder from Craigslist. Don't know how that came up, and this lady in San Francisco, and she was like pretty close by because I walked there, and she was selling a glass grinder. She was like, yeah, I kept this, you know, since we bought it and used it in like 1990 something again, and it was like, she's like, yeah, we don't use it anymore. So, you know, $35. And so I scored a glass grinder for that much. hot. And so then I got that, and I think that's the time when I was like, all right, what else is on Craigslist? Anybody else getting rid of stuff? Then one day, this listing comes up, and it's like stained glass cabinet, you know. And I look at it and I go, holy shit, this is a dream. It's crazy to somebody even has something like this, you know. I was just starting out. I didn't have glass, right? You have to buy glass from the store, brand new, and that costed a lot of money. So every project was like, should I do this? Should I get glass? You know. Hold on a second. I need more soldered work. This is not the right stuff. Good, I still have it. I was selling this you know, I'm selling kits, right? Stained glass kits. So there was a time when just recently, I bought a whole bunch of items, and then I was packing it, selling it myself. Now, I mean, somebody else is, I have somebody else, another warehouse, not my warehouse, somebody who owns a warehouse, stained glass warehouse. They now ship everything, or they help me ship everything out instead of me doing it myself. So anyways, I still have some stock left. So this is great. Amberway 6040 is what I've been using. Okay, so back to the cabinet. I see the listing, and you know, I was like, I think this is an opportunity. I need to get it. I need to just do it, because it was like $300 or something. You know, a good amount of money starting out, and it's like a huge cabinet like this with a bunch of glass, and I was just like, I think I just got to get it. It's worth it. You know, I will be doing more projects. I'm going to need more glass, and I think it's just the right call. So I was really excited and that it was going to happen, you know. And so then I contact the person, and he's like, okay, yeah, come on up. You can come pick it up. And now I'm blanking out where it was, but it was like, you gotta, it's like an hour or something maybe. I don't remember. Hour plus. To pick it up, I don't have a truck. I have a car. And so lucky, the company I was working for at the time was very cool with me taking the truck. Like, yeah, you can take it, you can use it, and go pick up whatever. So I was able to bring it home, parked it on the street in San Francisco, and that next morning, where I scheduled to go pick it up, you know, just went over there, talked to the guy, and the story goes, he had bought it from a school that had a stained glass class, and as their, I think it was like a high school, middle school, or some school. Man, I really wish I remembered the name, but I'm pretty bad at remembering names, remembering anything. But the school closed that program. They closed the class. So sadly, you know, it's so cool that they even had the class. And like, so all these kids are making projects, like that's as an art class. How cool, you know? And they closed it down, like lost funding or whatever it is. So somehow he knew people, the school, and he bought it. He bought the entire cabinet with all the glass, and not just glass, all the, they had like brushes, glass cutters. I still, like, lead, there's a box full of lead, for, like, lead strips, you know, it's to do lead work, lead channels. So there's a box of that, lots of glass cutters, lots of glass, and he just picked it all up. Brought it home, and he was like, man, I'm gonna, you know, teach my kids, we're gonna do projects and, you know, do stuff together, make projects together. And years go by, never happened. And he was like, yeah, man, just never did it. My kids didn't like it, or never got into it. So I just kind of sat in his garage. And he was having a garage sale. He was getting rid of his stuff. And this is one of them. You know, so I happened to come along, found it on Craigslist, just what an, like, the right time, you know? Again, yeah, and so I go, I will get it. I'm happy to buy this right now. This is like my thing. This is what I do. You know, I even had I brought my camera, and I was doing like a YouTube. I was doing YouTube at the time too, right? So I brought my camera, and I even filmed that too. So there's a video here that has that garage, like talking to this man about it. Then I got it. I loaded up on the truck. Took me forever. You just watch me do it, you know, because it's every drawer here had glass in it mostly, and lots of glass. So I had to take it out one by one, place it on the side. He helped me move the cabinet itself onto the truck, and then I placed all the drawers into the truck, lined it up, tied everything, you know. And then came home. I don't have a home, I had an apartment, so I left it at work, and you know, they had a lot of space, so that was really cool. So I unloaded it one by one, put it into the shop at work, and left it there. And then my brother had a garage, so I talked to him and was like, hey, can I use your garage to do my work? Move this in there. I want to have like a studio space. And he was so cool with it. He's like, yeah, go ahead. They weren't parking their car in it, and they didn't have much in the garage. So I cleaned up his garage, one car garage, cleaned it up, moved that. How did I get it over there now? You must have had like a U-Haul or something. This is when we were moving, I think. I forget. I had to get another truck. And maybe the same truck, probably. And then I moved it into his garage. Set that up, did the same thing, and then that's been there for, you know, whatever years, something that I was there. A couple years before I moved here. And then now we have our garage, right? A 2-car garage here. So that's the story of that cabinet. Those tools or the glass cutters and the lead, I still got the box of lead. It's quite old, so I was told you can't really use it. They'll break, and it's just not good for longevity of the piece, whatever you're making. So I haven't used that. It's just been sitting. I do have glass cutters, which I think I would like to start probably doing some more giveaways and stuff, because that's just been sitting there, and it's better if somebody else can have it, like you guys. So, you know, maybe I'll think of something and think of a way to give that to you, for, you know, us, our viewers, like the people here, you guys. So I think that would be cool. Anyways, all right, enough of the story. We're good on this other piece, and here's, right, both sides looking good. Got to do the edges here. So what I like to do is, you're gonna get some flux on this right here, just everything, just a light brush going through it. And this is where you don't need a lot of solder, if at all. So you might want to get some on here to start, and then we're just gonna roll it on, and I'm just gonna make sure that it's on, but nothing more, because at this point, again, I'm not making it nice, I'm just trying to get solder onto here. So this is like the tinning part of things. You just lightly get that solder on there, and right now at this point I still don't know what the edge is going to be covered with, as far as lead channel. So I don't know if I'll be using, yeah, so I'm not using a lot of solder at all. Not making it neat, just kind of going over it. Doing pretty good here. Okay, coming back up to the beginning. I think I'm just going to leave it right now for now. Right, so we've got solder on all the pieces here. Rough first work. Right? Okay. Wow. Guys, this is where we're at right now. Okay? Super good. Okay? Really happy about that. The next step is now to smooth everything out. I think our video is going to end because we're on this third recording right now. So I don't think I'm going to get to the smoothing part of whatever that we need to do, unfortunately. I think I want to stop it right now. Probably a good time to take a break. I'm going to try to finish this up, do the smoothing part of it, and if that makes it in the video, that would be great. If not, next time I see you guys, we'll be doing... What the heck's the next step? Oh, no, you know what? Next time, I think... Yeah, forget it. Next time, I'm going to continue this because I think I have to. It's just... it's much better to have that smoothing part because it's... I feel like it's very relevant to finishing up the piece. So, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with me. We were supposed to go over the comments. Let's do that. See that? There's a lot of things. A lot of things that I keep forgetting all the time just from talking too much. Alright. Bye, Jorgensen. Hi from British Columbia. Love your instructions. Thank you so much. Hello out there in BC. Don't ever get to go, but you're so close. I should. Um, Bobby Schneider, hey, again. Hi again from Montana. My husband took a class. Took over 30 years. Babies moved. Kids grew up. And now you're starting again, doing it in your house. So it's good to watch your work. Thank you. This is what I hope is helpful, so you can actually see the entire process. No cutting of steps or anything. So hopefully that's yeah. If you can learn from this, that's the best thing I can ask for, and you can do the same work and make the same stuff. It's really cool. Like it's freaking awesome. Dinky B. Somehow I remember that name. Yeah, Yuma, Arizona. Hey, I have enjoyed the channel since you started with stained glass. Stoked when you came back from your first break. Family first. Thank you very much. Family first. Jeremiah Woods. Hey, Jeremiah. Again, watching from Jefferson City, Montana. Love your work. I started stained glass journey 2020 because of your videos. Hey, I'm so happy about that. You can get started with this. Have fun with it. That's what it's all about. Enjoy it, and I hope you make some awesome projects too. So somehow, hopefully you can share that with me. If you want to, you can reach me on Instagram, and then you could send me some pics and stuff, because we can't do it on YouTube. Grizzly's Pets. Hey, Cody from Kentucky. Watching this takes me back when I was making custom glass inserts for doors and windows. Still working on getting everything I need to get started making my own stained glass. That's awesome. You'll be a pro at this. You already know your stuff. 70 Ronzo. Hey again. Enjoyed your story. Thank you for sharing. I am learning how to handle retirement, doing different things, taking up gardening, piano lessons, growing violets, Christmas cactus, and now stained glass. That's a ton of stuff. Keep going. You're doing that's the best you can do. Keep learning. I'm trying to find myself wanting to be around people who want to do things and want to keep busy, and just learning things. Like there's a lot. I'm not taking piano lessons. I wish I want to, and I probably will in the future. I have been playing piano, keyboard at home, just playing around every couple of minutes here and there when I can, and so I'm happy to say I'm progressing a little bit. It's really cool. So just whatever it is that you guys are doing out there, enjoy it, do your stuff. If stained glass is one of it, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. And then you said, I have the hardest time foiling. I have tried hand foiling, table foiler, glad star foiler. My problem is getting the foil even on both sides. You seem to make it so effortless in your skill. So, I haven't tried those foilers. I know they help a lot. I think the thing that you have to probably just doing a lot more of it, but also when you go to do the strips, just really, I just gotta pull it out, right? Make it taut, and then look left and right, back and forth, and just make sure. And then once you land it where it sticks, if that's not good, just keep doing it until it's like that even space, and then start working in on it. That's how I've been doing it, and piece by piece you'll obviously get a lot better. So hopefully, it'll become a lot easier for you, because the foiling, yeah, I know it's not that fun either. Deb Martin, hey, hi from Adelaide, South Australia. Love watching. See, we got another Australian watching. That's so cool. Trevor, yeah, hey, watching from across the street. Of course. How you doing? You're always here. This is so good. Mike Meyer, hello from Iowa. I'm making a mini version of the Flower of Life. I've enjoyed your channel for a long time now. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mike. Good luck on that Flower of Life. It's one of the best designs that I've ever seen. Mickey Wallace, Mickey. Hi, it's Mickey, still watching from Republic of Ireland. Hope I said that right. Mickey, was me and Mickey go way back because I was doing a giveaway for a glass cutter. My first giveaway, and this is why I remember Mickey, and also Mickey's commented on a few of my videos, but I was doing a giveaway, you know, just like, hey, I got some glass cutters, I want to give this out. Mickey won the giveaway, and I was like, alright, we're sending this out to Ireland. So went to the post office, did the whole thing, sent it out, and freaking glass cutter. So I sent that out to you. You know, you probably, hopefully you've upgraded, because that glass cutter is like, you know, it's a basic glass cutter. You can get away with so much until you're just like, I need to upgrade into something else. So hopefully you're doing some stuff and you know, maybe using a new glass cutter. But what's up, Mickey? Thanks for sticking around here still. Seriously, like 5 years. Rockhound22 watching from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Florida, so cool. Lisa, hey Lisa, hello. It's coming along. Yeah, it's we're doing much better now. This is solid. We got it. Cryptogenic, hello from the internet. Hey, you again, Cryptogenic. Name literally is cryptogenic, means comes from unknown, context, compound, Latin word, crypto, unknown, genic. Yeah, I would, crypto stuff. So I tell people I'm from the internet, it's really close, really far. I'm learning how to do stained glass, watching your technique for pointers, really like watching your work. Yeah, I thank you very much. I hope it helps, and if you're getting into it, if you have questions about whatever comes up, please get at me in the comments, and then, you know, hopefully I can do this again, get you guys reply. So thank you. Therese, what's up, Therese? Love your channel, watching from Washington State. I already know that. I remember that now. Anna, hello from Washington State. Another Washington person. Mr. D3406, hi from Lithuania. I don't know where Lithuania is at all. You're far away, East Europe, somewhere. I can't point it out on the map. I'm sorry. I will go look at it today, and I will be a smarter person. Probably have seen it once or twice or something in my life. I'm lying. Probably never, but I will look it up, and I will feel better about it, and then I'll feel better next time if any other Lithuanians ever comment. What's up? You're way out there. Okay, Patrick. Hey, Patrick. What was the name of the band you were in? What did you play? I was in a band, super small band. We were called Third Try, from a town in Temecula, so just like a high school band. And I played guitar. I've played guitar since I was 13. No, sorry. Yeah, 12, 13 or something like that. So, late middle school. Yeah, it's been a long time. And then, got some, yeah, it's okay to repeat, Trevor. It's okay to repeat information because you are getting new viewers all the time that you can use the knowledge. Yeah, I am trying to just go with it, you know? If it needs to be said, I'm going to say it. And if it helps one person, say cryptogenic, it helps them in some ways, it's freaking awesome, you know? So hopefully this was helpful, and whatever I can give and share, I want to do that. So other than that, let's wrap it up. I'll see you guys next time. We're going to do that smooth bead soldering in the next video. So see you guys.